Macrex is the top worldwide choice for indexing professionals. It provides a comprehensive platform for creating indexes. Its features include extensive time-saving options throughout and absolute control over the final index.
Hello, I'm Mi Stauber and I'm here to help you with Mastering Macrex. In this video, I'm going to review ways to move around in an existing entry. You can use the commands we're going to talk about in an entry that is up in the index or in an entry on the add line. Many of us, when we start out, move around in an entry by pressing the left or right arrow key over and over to get to another part of an entry, or even by using the mouse. There is no need to do this. Learning the shortcut keys for these movements will save you a lot of keystrokes over your career. I'm going to start by getting into the entry at the top of the screen. I talked about methods for doing this in video number 2, Accessing an Entry. This time I'm going to simply use the Escape key and press Enter. Note that I can do this from either Add mode or Inspect Edit mode. So here I am inside this entry. You can tell because it is highlighted. Here are some shortcuts for movements I might want to make. To get my cursor to the beginning of the entry, I can use Control-E or the Home key or the up arrow. As I said in the first video, I strongly recommend using the Control key shortcuts for these commands since they keep your hands on the home keys. So Control-E, zoop, there is my cursor at the beginning of the entry. To go to the end of the whole entry, I can use Control-Z or the End key or the down arrow. Control-Z, and there I am at the end of the entry. There are also shortcuts for moving between headings, words, and even characters. Here's a summary of them. To move between headings, we use the Alt key or the left or right and the left or right arrow key, so Alt and arrow. Let's say I'm at the beginning of an entry and I want to modify the subheading. I press Alt right arrow, and now my cursor is at the beginning of the subheading. Alt left arrow sends me back to the beginning of the main heading. If you are in the locator section, you can use Alt left arrow to go to the beginning of the locators, but then you have to use the arrow key a couple of times to get into the last heading before you can use those Alt arrows again. To move between words, use Control-L or Control left arrow and Control-R or Control right arrow. So Control-R, Control-R, see how I'm moving from word to word? Control-L, Control-L. To move left one character at a time, use the left arrow. To move right, you can use either the right arrow or Control-D. And there's that control letter command again. All right, now you know how to move easily within an entry. If you aren't already using these shortcuts, I recommend putting one of them at a time on a sticky note on your monitor and practicing until it becomes second nature before starting on another one. All of the commands for Macrex operations can be found in 2 PDFs that come with the program. In one, they're sorted by task, in the other by key. And here's an example of a page with the key combinations on the left in the order of the letter, and then alternative keystrokes for that same command on the right. Make a habit of surfing through these documents looking for new fun commands to learn. After 26 years, I am still learning new Macrex commands in this way. In the next video, I'll talk about editing an entry. See you then.